I'm going to do another bowl demo. So depending on how long your clay has been sitting, it can be relatively soft or relatively firm. So this is some cone 10 porcelain that's been sitting a while, which means it's a little harder to push around than the fresh soft stuff. But because it's firmer, you can do in some ways more dramatic things with it. So at various times I've talked about bowls not being the same or not all being for ice cream. And you know, potters start off with a bowl because it's quote unquote simple. But as you study food and pottery, you figure out it's a deceptive simplicity. So the type of bowl I'm making is relatively unusual for us Westerners. I call it a noodle bowl or a rice bowl. But it's specifically designed so your mouth and a pair of chopsticks can fit in there at the same time. So it has a very wide flaring, well, we'll get there, aspect, and a very narrow foot. The foot will actually, in some ways, be a handle because you'll be holding the foot in one hand while the other hand is manipulating chopsticks, hopefully shoveling food into your mouth. This is also, of all the forms I do, the one I do with the narrowest or thinnest rim. I tend to like a thicker, firmer rim on most things because people are clumsy and they bash them into things, and it's the rim that gets broken. Okay, I use my fingers to gauge wall thickness, but I don't tend to use my fingers to shape the pot because the fingers are all made out of hinges, and they're far too likely to flop around and create grooves where you don't want grooves. And so one of the challenges as you get better as a potter is the issue of wall thickness. I mean, at every stage you want the walls to be even, to have a thickness that's the same top and bottom. But the cliche is that when you start, your walls are thick and clunky, or that you have to trim away a lot of clay to get down to a useful weight. And as you get better and better, you can throw thinner and thinner. And that was particularly a problem for me with my mugs, because the there's also, aside from showing off, there's this sort of greedy sense of you want every bit of clay to be as large an object as you can. And I ran into more and more stories of breakage because the mugs they were used to banging together in cheerful salutes that I've been making lighter and lighter were too delicate for my customers to live with. So there are times where I have to intentionally make things clunky. Okay, I haven't been doing much with the water. The clay isn't very wet. You notice I haven't been doing anything with the outside. The outside will fend for itself. I'll deal with it when I trim it. There you go. Thank you.